Hey, Shalom. I'm just Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharika Kodash. I'm just determined to go live because I started the lesson by going live, and the cell phone started acting up, the internet started acting up. So I did an hour, recording, but I want to end the second part of the lesson, the second hour, doing a live. So hopefully it's going to be edifying to the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh Shai. So the lesson, in order for you to understand, you need to watch the first part of it, which the first part of it was speaking of the good and the evil reports brought by the sons of Israel when they went out to spy the land, the promised land. So the rest of the Israelites came out with evil reports, and only Joshua and Caleb came with the right report. Okay, which it gives it's an allusion to what's going on today. You have various different kinds of Hebrew Israelite camps out there teaching wicked doctrines, in which that's actually bad reports that they bring in, telling you that the MOTB is everything except from what it really is. That's an evil report. And the true men of the Most High Yahweh Shai are giving the right reports, telling you the full truth of the Bible, the 100% truth, without hiding anything, without taking anything out, or without adding anything to it. So in the last video I was reading from the book of Proverbs chapter 11. So I'm going to continue from there. I read from verse. Now anyway, the lesson has gone to the point in which I started speaking about you being truthful to yourself in this truth. In order to be saved in the wicked days that are coming, first of all, you have to be truthful to yourself. If you're not being truthful to yourself, you can't walk this walk, man, because this walk has to do with humility, being sincere, walking your own salvation with fear and trembling before the Most High Yahweh Shai. Now, this is the book of Proverbs. I'll read verse 3. Chapter 11, verse 3, it says, "The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of the transgressors shall destroy them. Which is, profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his ways, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness." You see, the righteousness of the perfect shall direct him in the days, And like I did a lesson, sometimes past, telling you of how the laws and commandments of the Most High Yahweh Shai are connected to the ways of righteousness, If you want to walk righteously, you have to walk in those commandments. Now we're not going to be judged by the commandments, but you have to keep those commandments to the best of your ability, So the Christians that are telling you that the laws are done away with, they are all devils. The Most High Yahweh Shai is going to destroy them because they are bringing evil reports. Okay? Verse 5. No, verse 6. It says, "The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but the transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth." So you see, the reason why, let me drop this. The reason why those Israelites brought evil reports, one of the major reasons, is because, they wanted to go back to Egypt. They preferred Egypt, than all the hell they were catching. I lost my train of thought. Verse 7, Proverbs 11:7, it says, "When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust man, perisheth." So as I was saying, one of the major reasons why they gave evil reports was because they wanted to go back to Egypt. They preferred that life they were living in Egypt than all the hell they were catching. Just like many of our brothers today, they prefer this kingdom You know, they prefer the life that they're living in this kingdom, the wickedness that's going on in this kingdom, you know, all the corrupt things, you know, the pollution. They prefer all this than the kingdom of heaven, because they have a mindset thinking that maybe in the kingdom of heaven there is no fun, you know. Their minds are set to that thing that, you know, how do you say it? That sin is fun. You know, this is what they believe. They believe that sin is fun. And that's not the case, man, you know. And all those people, they're all going to be destroyed in their choices that they've made, you know, to follow unjust ways, just like it says here. Proverbs 11:7. When the wicked man dieth, his expectations shall perish. So all your vain dreams, in order to keep moving in this kingdom, all your vain dreams to pursue your wicked careers in this kingdom, to do the bidding of the devil, you know, it's all going to come to naught. The Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA is going to destroy you, you know. All these things are going to come to naught. All the sinners of our people, fornicators, you know, how should I put it? You know, vile spirits, just like you can see. You see, effeminate spirits, men making themselves like women or other things. The Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA is going to destroy all these people, you know. And all your plans, you know, your dreams and everything is all coming to destruction, man, you know. So let's get the book of let's get the book of 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. So this book of 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, it puts the whole story together of what happened in the wilderness, how certain men came with evil reports, and Joshua and Caleb, they came with a righteous report. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10. I'll start from verse 1. It says, Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did eat the same spiritual meat, you know. And we know that the original baptism, the true baptism, is through these words, man. These words, they baptize you. The truth baptizes you with fire and the spirit, man, you know. You can go through the baptism of water if you like, but if you don't have the truth, that's not baptism. Verse 3, it says, though this is speaking about the sons of Israel in the wilderness, okay? It's giving a quick summary of the story. Verse 3, and did eat all the same spiritual meat, which was the manna that fell from heaven, you know? And today we're eating that same manna, man. We're eating that same spiritual food, which is this truth, man. This truth is manna from heaven, okay? Because it's not given to everybody, but it's given only to the few elect. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that that followed them, and that rock was Mashiach, you know. And that's true. Remember, Moses had to, when the sons of Israel, they were thirsting, they were asking for water. Moses, with the staff, he struck the rock, and water gushed out, you know. That water represents this truth. That water is that flowing, is that living water, that flowing fountain, okay? That flows forever, and that fountain is Yahawashi, okay? Yahawashi is that living water. It says, and with many of them the Most High was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. And those people that the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA overthrew in the wilderness were the people that chose the way of the wicked, you know. These are the people that decided to come with, you know, evil reports to disencourage the rest of the Israelites. Just like today you have various camps, you know, you have various religions teaching all kinds of wicked doctrines, man. These people are bringing evil reports, and these people are not going to make it into the kingdom. The Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA is going to destroy these people. It says, verse 6, now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Just like I was saying, the people that came with the evil reports, they were lusting after evil things, you know. They were lusting after the wickedness that they did in the land of Egypt, you know. Just like today, our people are lusting after all the wickedness of this world, you know. When you turn on the internet, the TV, you know, they show you that money, the twerking and all that thing. This is what our people lust for, you know. They think the kingdom of heaven is boring, you know, in which the fun that we're going to be having in the kingdom of heaven is something of a different level, because there is no fun in this place, man. I'll read again from verse 6. It says, now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. You know, and these spirits are actually back again. These spirits are back again, and they're doing the same thing that they did back then in the wilderness. You know, deceiving others, you know, creating mayhem, you know. After they've seen all these miracles, after they've seen the commandments, you know, they went ahead and started doing all kinds of wickedness, man. You know, these same people are out here today. That's why you really need to be careful about these people. You need to be careful about the spirits that are around you. Let me charge this phone. Slack, yeah. So as I was saying, you know, these same spirits are around today, you know, perversing the truth, misleading our people. You have to pay attention for these people, man. You know, that's why the book of Ephesians 5:15 tells you to walk as wise men, redeeming the time, for the days are evil, you know. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 9. It says, neither let us tempt Mashiach, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. You know, how do you tempt Mashiach? You know, perversing his words, speaking lies, doing things that are against his commandments, you know, doing things that are unpleasing to the Most High, which we spoke of in the previous video, you know. Verse 11, it says, neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. So you see, we don't have to murmur, just like the sons of Israel were murmuring in the wilderness. You know, this is a battle, man. You need to be a man. Stand strong. Down, man. Down. Okay? You need to be strong in this truth. You know, unshakable. Don't be carried by doctrines, you know, from left to right like a dry leaf. Walk this walk and pray for the kingdom to come. Prayer is the key, in which, you know, we really need to pray every day, you know, at the minimum 3 times a day. So verse 11, it says, now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the end of the worlds are come. You know, just like the scripture tells you that the things that were written aforetime are written for our learning. You know, all these stories are written for us to learn something from it. You know, they're not just written like that for nothing, you know. They're written for us to learn something from it, to watch our ways. Okay, now we understand that we have wicked Israelites that are coming with wicked reports, you know, teaching all kinds of wicked doctrines, that are not what the actual truth is, you know. People have turned this truth into businesses, you know, doing all kinds of wickedness, you know. The scriptures are already telling us all these things. They were happening back in those times and they're happening today. There is nothing new under the sun, you know. Down. You know. So verse 12, we say, wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. You know, you have to take heed of this truth. You have to take heed of everything that's been taught by the prophet, starting from the elder apostle Taha. You know, you have to take heed of these things, you know, lest you fall. Now, there is a saying in the world that if you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything, you know. This truth is our pillar. This truth is everything that we have. The kingdom to come is our crown, man. It's everything we have, man. You know. Damn. Salakia, I have this wicked allergy that's disturbing me, you know. You know, this kingdom has nothing better to offer, man. You know. This kingdom is played out. The kingdom to come should be what's on your mind. This is the book of Corinthians 10. I read from verse 13. It says, there hath no temptation taken us, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it, you know. Unlike the people, the Israelites, unlike the Israelites that came with the wicked reports, you know, they were being tempted by, you know, the kind of life they were living in Egypt. You know, now you don't want to be caught up with such temptations, man. You know, you don't want to be carried away by these temptations. And this is not an excuse for those that, you know, some people believe that they are living the hardest life in this world. Some people, some Israelites believe that their life is worse than the life that other Israelites are living. No, we are all catching different hells, man. The Most High is trying every one of us. Remember, the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter, I think the 2nd verse, it says, you know, if you're coming to serve the Most High, be ready for temptation, you know. A faithful 144 hopeful elect, Shalom, YASHAMIAHLA Barakatah. You know, all these temptations are necessary to strengthen us, to give us more muscles, man, in this truth, you know. And there is no temptation, there's no temptation that's going to come our way that the Most High hasn't made a way for us to overcome it. You know, that's a pure lie, you know. So you really have to be a man and strong up, man. Verse 14. 1 Corinthians 10:14. It says, wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as to wise men. Judge ye what I say. You know, flee idolatry, man. You know, and you know, your so-called dreams of this kingdom, of becoming a celebrity, of becoming whatever, of having a top social status, you know, it's all linked to idolatry, man. And now saying this, I'm not saying that we don't have to work. Yeah, we have to work to put food on our table. The Bible speaks of being not being lazy, man. You know, if you're lazy, then you live in abject poverty, you know. But then our hearts are not meant to be set on the things of this kingdom, you know. We shouldn't be having plans of, oh, within 10 years, this is what I want to be here. No, your plans should be in the kingdom, man. Within 6 months, I want to see myself in the kingdom, okay? I want to see the return of Mashiach, Yahushua. You know, this is what it is. So, you know, everything that this kingdom pushes, you know, everything that's been pushed in this kingdom, I have these little demons, you know, making noise and disturbing my teaching, you know. Everything that's been pushed in this kingdom, you know, it's all linked to idolatry, man, you know, idol worshiping. Okay, verse 16. Now let me read from verse 17. It says, for we being many are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread, and that bread is Yahushua Mashiach. Okay, this truth is the bread that will break. You know, when we speak this truth, Yahushua says, I am the bread of life. You know, behold, Israel after the flesh are not they which eat the sacrifice, partakers of the altar. What say I then, that the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? But I say, the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Okay, we're being warned and admonished here not to have fellowship with these devils, man. You know, stop setting your heart on the things of this kingdom. You should set your heart on things above, man. You know, and the verse that follows says, ye cannot drink the cup of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of Yahweh Shem Yahushai's table and the table of devils. You know, this is what some people don't understand. They think, you know, they can be in this truth, then they can have one foot, you know, in this world, just like, you know, the members of Sicaris are doing. You know, they have their music careers that they're trying to follow. You know, they have their merchandise, they have plans of doing all different kinds of things, you know, and they believe they're actually men of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Now, which men of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai actually started, you know, getting into worldly things, you know? This ministry is one thing, and worldly things are another thing. You can't serve the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai and serve Mammon at the same time, you know? Hence comfort the word, you know, you have to be truthful to yourself. If you're not truthful to yourself, hey, you're just deceiving yourself, man, you know? So going back, let's get the book of Hebrews. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 3. Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to destroy these devils, man. Start blowing some weed. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 3. I'll start from verse 4. It says, for every house is builded by some man, but he that build all things is the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai has control of everything, man, you know. Either it be good, either it be bad, everything that is builded is the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai that establishes everything, not man, you know. So stop believing in your own hearts, stop believing in your own whatever, you know. The Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai controls all these things, you know. Verse 5, and Moses verily was faithful in all his house as a servant for a testimony of those things which were to be spoken after. But Mashiach Yahushai as a son over his own house, whose house are we, if we hold fast the confidence and the rejoicing of the hope firm unto the earth, unto the end. You know, if we hold firm to this truth unto the end, you know, we're going to be part of the house of Yahushai. Okay. Verse 7, it says, wherefore, as the Holy Spirit said, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts, as in the provocation in the days of temptation in the wilderness, When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. You know, we don't have to harden our hearts and be demons, devils, like those Israelites, you know, who in the wilderness, they were bringing evil reports, you know, disencouraging the rest. We don't want to be like those people. Because you see, some people, there is a nature that when they can't attain certain things, when they get into this truth, they can't walk according to the way they know is right to walk in this truth. They become demons, and what they do is they go out and try to deceive other people and draw them out of the truth and being stubbornly blocks and devils to those people, you know. And what's going to happen? The Most High YASHAMIAHLA is going to destroy them, just like it did, you know, to the ones in the wilderness. You know, none of that generation saw the promised land. Verse 10, it says, wherefore I was grieved with the generation and said, they do always err in their hearts, and they have not known my ways. You see, majority of our people have not known the ways of the Most High YASHAMIAHLA, you know. But they think they know the ways of the Most High YASHAMIAHLA. But truly they haven't known the ways of the Most High YASHAMIAHLA. The Most High is not man. Okay, neither does it think like a man. If you really want to know the ways of the Most High YASHAMIAHLA or do things that are pleasing to him, his commandments, his laws and statutes, man, these are the ways of the Most High YASHAMIAHLA. You know? And such people, they sup with, if you want to sup with the Most High YASHAMIAHLA, it's through his book, man. You know? That's why the book of Isaiah, the 8th chapter, the 20th verse tells you that if they don't speak according to these words, it's because there is no light in them. Roughly paraphrasing, man. You know? That's how you know these churches are fake, you know, all these religions are all fake because they're not speaking according to what's written in the book, you know. But we have to go according to the script. We have to go according to what's written in the book, you know. In order for you to know the Most High YASHAMIAHLA and do his will, you have to go according to the script. I'll read again from verse 10. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 3 verse 10. It says, wherefore I was grieved with that generation and said, they do always err in their hearts and have not known my ways. So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest. You know, it's the same thing that's going to happen this time around. All this wicked generation, or your gangs, you know, those that are doing the bidding of Esau, you know, in the music industry, you know, doing all kinds of wickedness, signing demonic contracts, you know, the Most High YASHAMIAHLA is going to cut you, okay? And you will not see the kingdom to come, okay? You're going to suffer the sufferness of what's coming in this kingdom, you know? This is the book of Hebrews chapter 3 verse 12. It says, take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power, Yahweh Shemiah. So you see, you have to take heed, you know. Take heed of evil heart of unbelief, you know. And we're beginning to see that spirit in Israel, man, you know. Many Hebrew Israelite camps have started teaching, you know, different wicked doctrines, you know. That spirit of unbelief is in the hearts of many people. Some people, you tell them this truth, they get everything that, man, they say this truth makes sense. But what happens, you know, their unbelief, you know, because they really don't truly believe, because they don't believe that this kingdom of this white, so-called white man, Esau, Edom, is going to come down. They don't believe that this kingdom is going to be taken down, you know. They believe in the next 20 years they'll have a future in this place, you know. And this spirit of unbelief is spread rampant, you know. We have to take heed of that spirit, man. Verse 13. It says, but exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. You know, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that cometh out of the mouth of our Savior, Yahushua. You know, we have to exhort ourselves every day. Daily exhortation, man. Edification. The word edification, the elder Apostle Taha always brings out the word, is, you know, to build, edifatio, to build. You know, you need, the only way you build yourself is by feasting on these words, man. You know, we don't live by bread alone. You have the body and you have the spirit. So as you give food to the body, so you also give food to the spirit. You know, as you give food to the body, you also have to give food to the spirit, you know. Reading on, verse 14. It says, for we are made partakers of our Mashiach Yahushua if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end. Okay? It's not all about coming into this truth. It's about steadfastness. It's about holding strong to the end, you know? You know? It's not about the beginning, it's about the ending, you know? It's easy to come into this truth, but the hardest thing is, you know, holding fast onto the end, you know, and not falling off. Many people started in this truth, came into this truth, and today they're falling off, man. Little stumbling block and you fall off. You don't want to be part of those people. That's why you have to exalt yourself day after day, you know? Building your spirits, you know? Rooting yourself up, man. You have to be rooted in this truth. You know, if you're not rooted, what happens? The storm comes, it uproots you and it carries you away, you know? So in this truth, you need to make a strong root by studying the scriptures, you know, reading, feasting on this word, exhorting yourself, edifying yourself daily, you know? Because these times are really evil, man. The only thing that's going to keep you intact is these words, man, this truth. This is verse 15. It says, while it is said today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts as in the provocation. For some, when they had heard, did provoke, albeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. So you see, you don't, these words, you know, when you're being reproved, when you're being caught by this truth, you don't have to go into provocation, man. A wise man is going to take to correction and correct himself, because scriptures are given by, according to the book of 1 Timothy, for reproof, for correction, man, you know. So when you're being corrected by this truth, take heed to it, man, and just work on being a better person. This is growth. This is maturity, you know. You don't want to be that little baby, you know. Once you've been caught by this truth, once you've been corrected, the scripture tells you contrary-wise, you know. And this is one of the foes of those people that were destroyed in the wilderness, you know. When Caleb and Joshua, when they started speaking about the truth, that the land that they saw was flowing with milk and honey, that the land was okay, the land was perfect, what did the rest of the Israelites do? They wanted to stone them, man. They wanted to stone them. And these same spirits are here today. Once you cut them with this truth, they become more demons, you know. They become worse than before. Verse 17, book of Hebrews 3:17, it says, but with whom was it grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness? And to whom swear he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believed not, so we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. So you see, the people that couldn't make it into the promised land were those who didn't believe the righteous reports that were being brought by Caleb and Joshua, you know. They rather believed the evil reports that were brought by the other Israelites. And what happened? They died, man, you know. They died. They shall die in their unbelief. And this unbelief is a very demonic, strong spirit. That's what's killing the people today, man. People don't believe. They just don't believe that this kingdom, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is going down. They just don't believe that this man can go into slavery, man. They don't believe that a mere Negro, a Latino, a Native American is going to rule the world. This is unbelief. They don't believe that the image of our Savior, Yahushua, is the so-called Negro. They don't believe. So you see, they don't believe the 12 tribes of the 12 tribe charts, you know, are the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and the Latinos. They don't believe, you know. So you see, all these people that don't believe, they're all going to die in their unbelief. That's the same thing that killed, you know, a great multitude in the wilderness. And this is the same thing. This is the same thing that made a journey of 40 days become a journey of 40 years, you know. And now, speaking of the times that are coming, because we are really walking into those times of, you know, great heavy wilderness, man. You know, famine is coming, pestilences are coming, you know, times like never since the beginning of the world, as written in the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter, the 1st verse, you know. People don't know what's coming, man, you know. They don't know what's coming, the real time of wilderness. And this is speaking of those who really know the truth, you know. Because we are all going to be tested at this time. We are all going to be tested if you really stand for the truth. If you don't stand for the truth, we're going to know. We're going to find out, okay? When you've been tested, you'll be found out, man. Because many brothers, many people are still going to fall. Many people are still going to live this truth. Once they start catching hells, they will start living this truth, you know. That's why you really have to edify yourself day after day. Build your spirit. Because this truth is going to be the stability of our times, man. You know? Yeah, man. You know, this truth is going to be the stability of our time. And those that know this truth, they cherish, they make treasure of this truth. You know, they're sincere with the Most High Yahweh Shai, being sincere with themselves first, you know. These people they're going to have that mindset because they've been built to stand against all the temptation that are coming, you know. So, hey, ye sons of Israel, so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Latinos, you know, prepare your spirit and your mind. Be rooted in this thing, you know. So you wouldn't be shaken by the great tribulations that are coming, man, you know. Let me quickly go into the book of damn. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46. Verse 3. It says, "Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb." You know? That tells you that Israel is the portion of the Most High Yahweh Shai. We, the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and the Latinos, these are the sons of the Most High Yahweh Shai. These are the people the Most High care for. You know, it's not speaking of all the nations. It says, and even to your old age, I am he, and even to her hair will I carry you. So you see, the Most High will never leave his people. I have made, and I will bear even, I will carry and will deliver you. To whom will ye liken me, and make me equal, and compare me, that we may be like? So the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA is always going to be with Israel. And this is a great unbelief that people don't believe. You know, they don't believe this, and it has become a stumbling block to them, you know. So it says, verse 9, it says, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times to the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Okay? The counsel of the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA shall surely stand. Okay? And there is no one that can change it, man. You know? Whatever the Most High says is going to do, you can hold him for his words, man. Because it must surely come to pass. If he says that this kingdom is going to be destroyed, there is no need that you should keep following your vain dreams, trying to seek love from the so-called white man, trying to be a part of his kingdom. Hey, slack here for that. Slack here for that. So, as I was saying, you know, the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA has said his words, man. This place is going down. So all your vain dreams, your vain aspirations, your vain plans and all that thing, the Most High is bringing everything down. You know, this is the time you really want to start praying for forgiveness, you know, trying your best to walk to the best of your ability, you know, this truth, walk in this path, you know. So when the Most High comes back, it's going to see you worthy of being saved. Because the days that are coming are really terrible days, man. They are terrible days. The people don't really know how terrible the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA is. Why? Because the so-called white man has deceived them, giving them a feminine image of a God. That's not the true God of the Bible, you know. The true God of the Bible, Yahweh, and his son Yahawashi, is a terrible power, man. That's why they call him Al-Shaddai, a demon-like power, man, you know. So you don't want to be carried away by all these false reports from all these people, you know, because destruction is coming. These reports that we bring to you is the right report, okay? Because we're saying exactly what's written in the scriptures according to the way the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA has commanded us to say it, you know. We're not adding to the word, and we're not taking out of the word, you know. We're telling you the way it is. This place is going down. Seek the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA before it's too late, you know. And come out from your foolishness, man, because this world is foolishness. The knowledge of this world is foolishness. Everything you think you know in this place, you know, the way you believe it, it's all foolishness before the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA, you know. Hey, Shalom, faithful 144, hopeful elect. The brother posted the book of Amos 5:20. It says, shall not the day of Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? Can. The day of the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA is darkness, man. You know, the people don't really have an idea of what it is. Go and read the book of 2nd Esdras. You can read the 13th chapter. You can read the 15th chapter, the 16th chapter. As a matter of fact, let me just pick out a few precepts before I close this lesson. First of all, I'll bring the book of 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, verse 3. It says, fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Okay, incredulity is unbelief, you know, and that's what killed the sons of Israel in the wilderness, because they didn't believe the right reports. Like we're giving you the right reports now, that hey, there is destruction right ahead, you know. This is the right report. Change your ways. But the people are telling you, oh no, there is no time of Jacob's trouble. They're telling you, oh no, the MOTB is not the chip, the charagma, you know. They're telling you all different things, giving you wicked reports, you know. But we're not troubled about their unbelief, you know. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. All the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. The Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA is going to destroy the unfaithful. Tawada Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA Barakata. That's the lion's den. 1 Corinthians 1:20. It says, where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Hath not Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA made foolishness the wisdom of this world? The Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA has made foolishness the wisdom of this world. So if you're still holding to your vain dreams, to your vain beliefs in this kingdom, the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA is going to destroy you. Okay? Lion's Den. This is verse 21. It says, for after that in the wisdom of the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA. Okay, it says, for after that in the wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. You know, by the foolishness of preaching, the Most High is going to save those that believe. Like right here I was standing, you had a group of some youngins right there smoking weed right behind me, you know. But they didn't know, their spirit is not working with them. They didn't know that they were saying the prophet of the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA. They were making fun of what I was saying, making fun of my garments, you know. But they don't know, because they think what I'm saying is foolishness, you know. We're out here preaching, you know. People they don't take us serious, but they take the so-called white man that lies day after day. They take those people serious, you know. This is how backwards this kingdom is. This is how foolish these people are, man. Sottish children, quick to do evil and slow to do good. These are the sons of Israel, in 2 words. Okay? This is book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 5. It says, behold, said Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA, I'll bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So the hurtful works of this kingdom are fulfilled. The Most High is bringing sword, pestilence, and famine, you know. And people are not really paying attention because they're carried away with all the different distractions, which is part of the sorcery of Esau, Edom. Part of his sorcery is all this distraction that he puts out there, you know. He puts all different kinds of things to distract you from what's going on. So people are not going to see the signs of the Bible. These prophecies of the Bible are speaking, man. They are speaking. Everything that's written here is being spoken. Everything is happening right now, you know. And the next big thing is what's written in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, the 16th verse. We know that's the next big thing, you know. So pay attention on that. Open your eyes, man. You know, walk as wise men, redeeming the time, not as foolish men being carried away with all the foolishness of this kingdom, you know. Because now it's getting sunny again. People are out there, you know, happy, you know, yeah, thinking that everything is gone back to normal, man. When right behind the corner there is a great evil being prepared for them. So anyway, I'm going to cut this lesson here, you know. Shalom to all those people that are watching and all those people that commented, you know. Hopefully this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA. At the beginning, I was a little bit, disencouraged because, you know, I started the live and it was already going, and then all of a sudden, it just stopped recording. And I was having problems, issues, you know, setting up the thing. But, you know, all praises to the Most High Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA. The job has been done. You know, we've been out here, you know, to teach this truth once more again. Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA will be out here again the next week to do this. So I'd like to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rukakwadash, Abad Babal, okay, Shalom, Shalom.